on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
With beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
On the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. What you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. On the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin J, got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. already know how I'm coming, man. Try to run the town. Tell them no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them doors on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
On.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I got to start over. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 231 of the Vitamin G podcast. I'm your host, Pharaoh, and today I have with me so far Nappy and Omar. Looks like we'll have a full panel today, possibly. Spoke with Kofi yesterday. He said he would definitely try to make it today, so we will see. Should have almost everyone today. With that being said, Nappy, what you been up to, what you been playing, and do you have any other controller reviews we need to know about on the way?
I haven't been playing too many games. I had to renew my Security Plus, which CompTIA got another $250 out of me. As far as gaming goes, I have been playing a little bit of Steamboat Chronicles. Been playing Power World now that they updated and fixed one of the major issues with PALs getting stuck in position. So now that they no longer get stuck at the PAL station, I can now have my server run efficiently, and I'm racking up a bunch of stuff. So I'm really enjoying Power World now. Also, as far as controller reviews, I got this Hyperkin now has our SNES retro controller that they've been coming out with. This is one of them, which is the Tetris version of this controller. So I'm currently working on a review for this. For Nintendo Switch and PC, I am extremely disappointed because the front plate right here is a sticker and not like printed onto the shell. And the sticker isn't even fully on.
So it's definitely going to peel off at some point.
Yeah, there's like air bubbles around it. So I'm highly disappointed because I'm like, if you're gonna give me stickers, you could have at least gave me like multiple stickers or something, because a sticker, like this is crazy. So yeah, this is another controller review I've been working on. Also, you'll see the other one for the BitBic 1 Rainbow 2 controller should be coming out soon. Also, I'm working on mobile controllers as well. So as you can see, like I got one of the mobile controllers behind me, which is the Razer Kishi 2 for Android, and they also have an iOS version as well. That is also being worked on as we speak. So yeah, besides the Security Plus holding me back because I gotta pay bills and I need that cert for my job. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing.
I'm renewing this year as well, so I feel your pain.
Do you want my I can give you all my notes.
Yeah, I'll take it.
If you need it for 701.
Sure. You didn't take the test completely over again. You just did the continuing education.
No, I did the renewal. So the renewal, what they did was they separated it into five different modules, and you have to get 100% in all of them, but you get unlimited attempts.
Okay, I'll take that.
So yeah,
I'll take that over taking the test over again.
Oh no,
anytime.
Yeah. So
that test is stressful because you got like an 85% to pass. So
85%. At least this one, even though it's 100%, you on all 5 modules you get 100%. But they also, you can't take the test unless you go through the whole course.
I'm cool with that.
So you literally have to go through every single slide and video before you can even attempt to take that one module of that test.
That's cool. I'll do that. I'm fine with that.
So.
But yeah. Omar, what you been up to? What you been playing?
Yeah, about that. Sorry for last week. Rebirth have been such an addiction that I've been playing it nonstop.
What game did you say?
Rebirth. Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Yeah, just screw us, huh?
Chapter 8 right now.
Okay.
Met the Golden Saucer and all that jazz. And yeah, practically leveling the game.
Okay.
It has so much improvement about the first one. It's not even funny. Between the versatile combat, between the songs, and I repeat, tons of new music tracks. Chocobo seems like a breath of fresh air, especially now that your Chocobo actually can, loot items, including chest. You can even talk to people while being on Chocobo.
Yeah.
And like the freedom, absolutely freedom. And when you summon a Chocobo, if you drop from a ladder or climb a ladder, when you arrive, if you're lucky, you could absolutely get on the Chocobo in the same second. Otherwise, if there are party members in between you and the Chocobo, it's not going to happen automatically. But if Chocobo stays summoned, it doesn't leave. What else? The synergy combo
abilities or skills. They're two different.
I'm talking about the skills now. The abilities are great, but the tutorial screen shows them way more powerful than what they actually are. The only ability so far that I have been using nonstop is 2. The first one is from a Cloud, where he charges up his sword and does almost like a slam damage. Super powerful.
You talking about Power Cleaver? I think.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
they all are very powerful. One of them is I know with Cloud, one of them is like a counter ability. So you
the
you
counter ability,
you gotta
you're
time that
better
one
off
up. But it
with.
is powerful. It'll instantly pressure someone
Yeah,
if you get it right.
you gotta, or if it's already pressured and even it have no armor left, you can close to one shot it, if
Yeah.
not half shot it. That's
Yeah,
how powerful.
there's some
It's
powerful ones.
at
It just depends on how
it's
you
at
use the abilities.
yeah, it's as powerful as an actual skill without even expending IP,
Yeah.
EP, TP.
ATB, yeah.
Yeah, and the other one that I can't stress it enough is from Yuffie, where she throws a dagger or her shuriken and it explodes. Super handy against flying enemy types.
Yeah.
Sadly, when it comes to flying enemies, unless you hit them with Cloud or Tifa, it's very difficult to reach them with, for example, I meant Yuffie. It's very difficult to reach them with Barret, Tifa, or Aerith. However, Tifa actually have a surprising new ability, synchro ability with Barret. He throws her in the air, and this way you can hit flying enemies. So it's improved, but it's still not like you can absolutely take care of flying enemy. No easy, no issue with that. In order to take a flying enemy, you actually need to roll with Cloud and then press square, and that way he starts his air combo and start go into the air. Other
Yeah,
than
you can
that,
use Blade Beam.
I can't comprehend. So basically, they clearly copied from Forbidden West on Horizon, and I have no issue with that. My issue is why did they not copy it to the latter? What I mean by that is one of the best thing, at least for me, for Forbidden West and Horizon Zero Dawn, is the ability to have close to unlimited amount of resources at your disposal. I'm talking about crafting resources. Well,
They said they leaned on The Witcher.
with this one, you're bound to 99, which you can get up very quick. And unless you find a way to get rid of them, sell them, or use them,
Yeah, you can use
they're
them pretty
gonna.
easily. And your item that's
Sorry?
the whole point of the item transmutator is that you find
Yeah, but
those.
the item changer is at some point. I'm not using it now. I only use it when I need to craft something new.
No, you
Be-
can use it when you just want to save money on potions. Like you can make potions and
I hardly. This is. I go to the second thing. I have never used a potion. Why would I use a potion when I have literally the best AoE healing skill in the game?
Sounds like somebody needs to get stabbed through the back again.
there's a I mean because there's a I use potions because there's a materia that allows you to use an item without using the ATB.
I have it. I have two of them.
I'll use I got two of them as well. I'll use a potion as opposed to using up an ATB charge. Or
yeah, but the
and I have heal
your,
and raise on all my characters at this point where I'm at in the story.
but
So.
your potion is only for one person, while the AAP with just one single AP, I can heal the entire party and at full health.
Well, what materia? Prey requires 2 ATB charges.
Not materia. Oh yeah, it is a materia. It's a enemy skill materia. If you pass the second area, you get the ability. You need to do some side quest. You
I've done
need
everything.
to fight it in VR.
I just haven't paid. I just don't use the enemy skill materia, but I've done everything.
So there is a skill called soothing something.
Yeah, soothing breeze.
Yeah, this is the best ability in the game. This can literally full heal you if you use it correctly.
I'll check it out. I'll throw on the enemy skill materia. I mean,
And
I literally, I think I have all the enemy skills except 2. I gotta
Wait,
get those
how
in.
far
I
are
gotta
you?
I have to get those in the combat simulator. But I have all
How
the
far
enemy.
are you?
I'm right at the beginning of chapter 12. I just have to clear out Nibelheim.
Oh wow! Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm chapter 8. I don't think I'm gonna ever use the skill self-destruct, but apparently I can learn it quick. By the way, which difficulty are you playing on?
Normal, because you can't do hard mode until you beat it.
I'm playing it on dynamic.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, same thing. Dynamic, normal. You can't go
I'm
on. You
not
can't do.
gonna
You
lie.
can't do hard mode until.
No, you can do hard mode, but not gonna lie though. I have the feeling hard mode is gonna be a breeze, especially with two materials that can do soothing healing. Like nah, the game is gonna be broken by them. The only issue I have encountered is when you're doing the gym, the character Ronnie, he is glitch. What I mean by that is at some point you need to press uh, R2 or L2, but not fully until the button glows green. And for me, no matter what I pressed after it, it made Tifa fall and made me uh, fail the challenge. Like I had to do that shit for hours before getting lucky. But other than that, I'm having a blast with the game, dude. I can't imagine how the story is gonna end. I do really wish, and this is it's not spoiler because if you play the first one, you know Zack in the game. I really wished Zack would have played a better role, a more important role than what he's playing right now. I really thought we might play as him,
I mean,
but
you
we're
do play as
not.
them in the very
Yeah, we
first like.
played him in the in certain one area in the game, but that's about it. He doesn't have his own skill. There is no emphasis on Jack,
Yeah, he
sadly.
doesn't like get like his own like dedicated chapter or anything like that. But you do get to play with everyone a little bit, even Sephiroth.
Yeah.
So.
Also, one last thing is every single character feels important. I have yet to play as K-State, so I don't know how he plays that, but so far I'm having the blast. Hell, even the music things, I have gotten all 3 themes A's.
That Sith is pretty cool. His
Yeah,
abilities
but
they're pretty unique. He can be a little broken in team battle as a support character.
who?
Cat Sith.
Ah,
Yeah, he can be a little broken as
then I
a
might
support
give
character,
him
but he's pretty cool.
the enemy skill material, then he can be my healer then. Because I already turned Barret to a provoker.
Okay.
Because he got a regeneration skill. By
Mhm.
the way, who's your top 3 characters so far?
I pretty much roll through the story with Cloud and Tifa, and I rotate the other characters through.
For me, Cloud Barret, mostly for his provoke, and I rotate between Radex because his second ability, where he creates a giant ball, it's super powerful. But also Aerith. Aerith is surprisingly well optimized. And not to forget Yuffie. Everyone feels special. But yeah, that's about me. Rambling.
I use Aerith and I like Aerith a lot. My only issue with Aerith is that it takes so many ATB charges just to get her to the point where like she's like, OP. You got to get Arcane Ward, and then you got to get the little chrono ability going, and then
Arcane Wand, and then when then she starts to get strong, and if you use her Shield Lotus, then you get a protection against enemies. So She can get very powerful. You just gotta. This is why you need to make use of the AP material that gives you AP for the start of the battle or
Yeah,
whatever
first
you
strike.
want.
Yeah, first strike, and if you pair first strike and ATB boost, you can get into it pretty quick. But it just
You
takes
can, but also there is the AP where the way where you can literally press L1 and R1 and you get a free
ATB
AP.
boost.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
wherever you
use.
if you pair it with first strike, you already have a charge at the beginning of the battle, and then
Yeah,
you'll have 2 charges. Yeah.
but the scenery skills for some reason it's very difficult to reach them. Like by the time I reach them, my enemy is close to death, so it's not worth it using it on him.
You're not really gonna get to use it much in the field, but when you get to like, your more serious battles or
Even bosses, I've been. How? What about difficulty for you? Have you been experiencing any difficulty?
no,
Heck, I'm
outside
even
of outside
beating.
of some of the combat simulators where I
Yeah,
wouldn't say it's difficult, but some of them I just gotta see what the enemy is and then structure my
yeah,
materia for the battle.
yeah. That's a good
But as
one.
far as like I have as far as anything outside the combat simulator, I haven't had to like prep my materia set up for each character beforehand. Because right
Me
now I don't even
neither.
use my materia like that. My materia, I just have a bunch of different materials on everyone that doesn't always make sense. I just am trying to get everything maxed out so that
Same.
when I get to hard
I'm just,
mode,
uh, I'm
I'll
just.
worry about my materia combinations.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm just the same when it comes to that. But yeah, enough about me. Go ahead, someone else.
All right. Um, Zero, how you been? What you been up to? What you been playing?
What's going on, people? Been doing well, man. Playing a lot, actually. Like everybody else, still playing Final Fantasy VII. I am at Costa del Sol.
Okay.
Very much enjoying it, doing the fun mini games. Run around with Tifa and Aerith right now. So it's an absolutely fun time. Costa is different than what I thought it was going to be, but that's cool. Outside of that, of course, still hunting monsters. 650 hours later, so I'm having an absolute blast with Monster Hunter. And the only 2 new things I've played really is the Princess Peach demo, Princess Peach's Showtime, which is really good. I'm excited to see what this game has to offer when it comes out. It's stacked because it's 3 games in one coming out at the same time. But on top of that, then it'll be Unicorn Overlord, which is really, really fun. Like I'm not a huge fan of Vanillaware games. Like I didn't play Dragon's Crown, and it's on my list to play 13 Sentinels. I never played that, but Unicorn Overlord is actually really, really good. I'm only about an hour or 2 into it, but it deserves all the, so far from what I've played, it deserves all the praise that it's been getting. I'm gonna take it slow because I'm sure that game will take forever. So, but I highly recommend it to anybody who liked 13 Sentinels or Dragon's Crown or just any sort of tactical RPG. I think people will definitely like it.
Okay. All right. And myself, I've been playing Final Fantasy Rebirth nonstop. I'm about 100 hours in. And I just finished up Nibelheim today. I have to clear the Nibelheim biome. And I guess the only thing my biggest gripe with the game so far is that every biome has 30 activities you have to complete. Like exactly 30. I was like, I don't really think that's necessary, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm having a blast with it. The side quests are important. They do flesh out a lot of things, but having to find all the Remma towers and it's like what 6 Remma towers per area. I don't think every area needs to have 6 towers. I think you can kind of cut that down depending on the area. I think Costa del Sol is probably like by far the biggest biome. because you gotta go all the way around it, like it's like a body of water in the middle of the biome that you kind of gotta go around and like complete things on that side before you're able to go through the other side. So like some side quests that you start on one side of the biome, you won't be able to finish until you do some things on the back side of the biome. So Castle Soul is probably the biggest one. Gingaga and Cosmo Canyon are probably like two of the more frustrating ones because there's not direct paths to where you're trying to get to. But yeah, I mean, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I do. I guess the part I'm enjoying the most about the game is how self-aware the characters are. Mainly, like Cloud is. Like he knows he's not right, as opposed to like in the last one, he was like, "Oh, nothing's wrong with me. I'm just this soldier guy," and yada yada yada. So, I think it makes him a more dynamic character. But other than that, that's about it. Once I clear this biome, the last 2 chapters I'll probably breeze through because I won't be having to go through all these areas, activating towers and looking for proto relics. Queen's Blood is still an amazingly fun game. I do think they should probably make that a mobile game. Standalone. That'd be pretty cool. But other than that, that's been it for me. I'll probably finish Rebirth either tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. And I'll give you guys my final take on the game then, and maybe we'll talk about doing a spoiler cast at the end of the month or something like that for the people who finish it.
We absolutely need to do so because I'm curious where the story is heading.
Yeah, if we do a spoiler cast, it won't be on Monday though. It'll have to be on a different day. Got to do the standard show. And but yeah, other than that, that's about it for me. So at this point in the show, probably this probably who will have the rest of the show. Unless Jubei hops off of Madden. That's what I saw he was on before I hopped in here. But with that said, let's let me get this timestamp going, and we can jump into our first topic of the day. And let's see what we got here.
Oh, Media Ghost has a question for us, by the way.
And yeah, I'm gonna go to that after I put in the timestamp. All right. Give me a moment. All right, I got it up. So let me read some of these questions and then I'll put in time. So, thank you everyone for letting me know that I was muted. To help the show get off to a better start. Appreciate you, Yobi, for sharing it out, and Media Ghost. Don't want to take your guys' time, but what are your guys' thoughts on Adult Swim games being taken down from consoles and Steam? Jubei is streaming. Okay, he must have his league. Hey, we're gamers at the end of the day, so we don't always have time to. That's why we have a big panel. Everyone doesn't have to be here if you have your gaming obligations. But yeah, I'm not too aware of the Adult Swim games, so I can't really comment too much. Do any of you guys play any of those Adult Swim games that were on Steam or console?
I heard a little bit of it. So basically, there's actually a couple of Adult Swim games are about to be taken off of not just the console market, but the Steam market. We don't know the full details as of yet. But I think it's due. There's like some licensing issue.
The dreaded licensing.
So like one of the games that I own from I knew was an Adult Swim game is like Duck Games, which is like this crazy local co-op platformer game.
I mean, they own awesome.
Yes, Duck Games. That was like way back when Adult Swim was a thing. I just saw it in a commercial. I just bought it. But yeah, they own quite a bit of games. Like they got the Pole Panic, which is, if you want to know, you're gonna realize these are going to be some of the most weirdest games you ever heard of in your life. But like Pole's Panic is one, which is like you play as a ball, and you're like literally a pool ball and you get smacked around with the pull stick. But then you travel around this world. It's like crazy. Of course, you got Rick and Morty VR. You got Rise and Shine, which is a weird side-scrolling shooter game, which is actually kind of fun. Yeah, that's pretty much those are pretty much the only 4 games I know of that were on the official list. But yeah, I heard about it. I don't know exactly what's going on with Adult Swim. It's kind of unfortunate. I mean, to see games get taken off the market. Hopefully, if it is some licensing issues, they can fix it before
if
these games become.
That is. That's always.
Well, I mean, these games have been out for such a long time, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah, I think from what I understand, it is a licensing thing, but I'm not particularly a fan of it, but largely because a lot of this is still wrapped up in Warner Brothers as a whole.
Yeah.
So it just reads bad because Warner Brothers seems to be like very strategically torpedoing all of the things that we enjoy. So at first glance, it looks like Warner Brothers is up to it again, just sort of canceling these things. And the general thought is like, why? This cannot possibly cost that much.
Well,
it's easy. Warner Brothers have been making the worst decision.
Absolutely.
Did you not see him, the CEO, doubling down after the failure of the Two Tight Quad about multiplayer games? Like,
yeah, I think they're just trying to save money, like because like the company isn't doing very well, and they've been doing things like starting movies and canceling them on purpose so they can charge them off on taxes, write them off and things like that. So they're not necessarily doing things for the betterment of the company. I think they're doing things just to like kind of stay afloat at the moment. So they figure out what they want to do.
The challenge is for some of the folks who develop these Adult Swim games, it's like, so where do they go? Like I don't know if they're anywhere else. So I guess there are other stores you can go to, but like where do they go currently? If Duck Game gets delisted, where would I go to buy Duck Game?
You don't
go anywhere to buy it if Adult Swim owns it. Yeah, I don't think you go anywhere. So,
like that's
unfortunate.
Sort of
So yeah, they're WB is going full live service now, so they won't be making anything other than live service games. Which is
crazy because last year game most selling was none other than Hogwarts.
Yeah, but not Hogwarts has a live service element.
But
no,
they're
really not enough.
They're making another Hogwarts game, so
I mean, as it stands, it's not a live service.
Well,
it's a, as people would call it, it's a one and done.
Yeah, but it has live service elements. There's like they built in where you can purchase. If it has in-game purchases, I guess they consider it live service.
That's what I'm saying. Like there are no in-game purchases as far as I can remember.
I think they added
there's the usual, like pre-order stuff, but like just throughout the game, there is no
like, special robes or wands you can purchase or anything like that.
Not unless you do the pre-order thing.
Let me look.
But no, it is in and of itself.
Okay. Well, that next one's gonna be live service then.
Yep, absolutely. Because they don't believe in just making good games. It needs to be monetized.
Harry Potter Quidditch Champions will be the next online multiplayer game. Okay.
Yep.
They're going to eat.
We have two live service games that is actually dying right now. 1,000 deaths. The first one is Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and the second
that was dead
one
on arrival.
And yeah, I know. And the second one is also dead on arrival. Skull and Bones.
That just play Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Well,
I know. So
Ubisoft typically sticks with their with their games, and they eventually end up turning turning out some sort of a community. May not be like this big, successful live service game, but they got a bunch of little, the Rainbow Sixes and all that, because that last Rainbow Six started out really bad, but they stuck with it.
Rainbow Six Siege is still going on strong.
Yeah, going on strong. They
wasn't the
really
last
turned
one
it around.
Extraction though? Wasn't that the last one?
The Extraction, everyone went back to Siege.
Yeah, everybody went back to Siege.
Yeah. So, yeah, Ubisoft is willing to stick with their games a little bit more, give it a real chance to succeed. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Skull and Bones. They have time to improve it, and we'll see what happens. But with that said, put this timestamp in. And I'm 41. We'll just go 41, 10, and topic 1 of the day. Apparently there's a bug going around. It's not a mass issue where it's affecting, like a large portion of the consumer base, but apparently there are customers who are losing access to their digital games. They're being deleted from their libraries, and PlayStation has yet to find a solution to it. So people are losing access to games that they've purchased, which is kind of alarming, being that now that now we're selling digital only consoles, and we're kind of quickly moving into a digital only age. To my knowledge, I haven't seen like an official statement from Sony saying we're working on it or anything, which I kind of think you would, even if it is a small issue, you still want to kind of say something to let those customers know that they're covered. But yeah, it's just one of the things that's going on right now.
It makes you question just how small. Otherwise, they would have had people talk about it.
If it's big enough that it's making it to the media, it's something that you should have a public statement on. It doesn't have to be anything major, but just say we're aware of the bug and we're working on a solution to address all impacted customers who are affected by
digital
losing license keys is not a joke. That's a serious thing.
Digital only is genuinely scary, and PlayStation actually showcased how scary it is when they, for some reason, the demo for Stellar Blade got a court were actually just, you can say, released, and then PlayStation took the demo down because it was not meant to be released. Fair point, yeah?
Yeah.
But what's even worse is the people that already had the demo downloaded, they couldn't have access to it anymore. Like, that's how crazy it is.
I mean, that makes sense, though. If it wasn't supposed to be released.
I mean, they already do that for PC for if you could pre-download the game, but you can't play it until you hit a specific time zone, or you VPN to another country where the time zone is available.
Yeah.
So,
but I think to Omar's point, like it particularly for console users, like it's almost unheard of that something like that would happen. Like they're 100% in the right to take it, but it's the fact that they can take it, because theoretically, what stops them from taking anything else?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I think then we run into this issue a few years ago with the PT demo. Either they removed it or they delisted. Maybe they delisted it. They didn't remove it.
No, they removed it.
And so like you would have to basically pull your if I remember correctly, you'd have to never connect your PlayStation back online in order to play the PT demo. If ever you connect it back online, it's gone.
So I owned one. I owned PT demo, and I wanted to take it with me because I had to sell my old console. But by literally moving from console to console, I lost that PT demo. And the PlayStations that had that PT demo were super pricey. Like they were selling them on eBay.
Yeah, like it's just become a like thing. So like again, I understand like, hey, we didn't mean to put this out, so we got to take it back. But it is a little scary that you can just take it back for whatever reason.
Yeah.
What's scary is literally locking you the access since you already downloaded it.
Yep,
Like,
it's all encryption keys.
Mm-hmm.
I understand if like you shouldn't have access to it in the first place, fair point. But you already have access to it. Why take it away? What gives you the right to take it away? It's already downloaded.
Yeah, I mean, I've said for the longest time that there's gonna have to be a point where we get some sort of legislation on just digital content in general, not just when it pertains to video games, but just how these licenses are handled, because we need ownership of our digital content. It shouldn't be that we're basically purchasing licenses that can expire at any time based on the
Or just be
conditions that
taken
they
away.
set, that you like just scroll through the list and hit yes on 90% of the time. So, but I mean, I know you already commented, but did you have any other things you wanted to say, Zero?
No, I mean, I don't know much about it.
I mean, it's kind of a vague situation because I mean, it's just limited reporting on it. But like, yeah, people are just logging into their PlayStation accounts and their games, or some of their games are gone.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that like it, regardless of how big or small it is that's happening, it's something that I hope that Sony and the other companies as well like take seriously now, and that we don't run across a future where like things just disappear and then they have to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Without any necessary, because I don't know how you prove that you have it. I guess if you bought it digitally.
Yeah, I mean, like, but what if when it deletes from your library, it deletes from your purchase history?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you gotta go to your
Can they
bank
legally do that
statements.
though?
The only thing you can have is if you get I keep them saved is the PlayStation PlayStation email confirmation email. Well, thank you for buying.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to go to your emails or your bank statements. In order to prove yourself if it ever got deleted from the purchase history along from your library.
We're talking right now about PlayStation, and I'm genuinely not trying to turn this into a console war. But not so long, a few months ago, it happened with an Xbox lady.
No, she got locked out of her account.
Yeah, she got locked out of her account with all her games. And if not for the mass audience from PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, all of them that spammed Xbox, there would have been a possibility where she never had access to her account again, and she would have a lot.
She would have got access to her account again, to her Microsoft account. She would have got it.
Well, but I hear like it's not so much as getting it, so much as the hassle of doing it, particularly for something that's not your fault.
Yeah.
Like I've heard of a couple of people losing their Blizzard accounts. So their Overwatch purchases or even League of Legends purchases sort of like disappear. And it's just sort of like, you can certainly work with Blizzard to get it done, but like they're not gonna really take you, Joe Smo, seriously. Until like you're able to spam it on Twitter and get people to pay attention.
The issue is when, whether it be Microsoft or anybody, once you have like multi-factor authentication and they give you a variety of ways to recover your information, and all of those things fail, they make it hell for you to get your account info back, because there's no reason that you shouldn't. Hypothetically, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get your information back with all the fail safes they set up.
I don't disagree.
Tying your phone number to your account, they make sure that you tie a backup email. You have the authenticator on your phone. Like, they have a bunch of different fail safes to make sure that you can access your account. So when all those fail, then it's like, how do we know it's really you at this point? And they make it really difficult for you to get your account.
Yeah, and again, like sometimes the things just do happen. So
Yeah.
you know, it isn't necessarily anybody's fault sometimes. But I will always be a little.
I'm always going to take the customer side, but
yeah, I'm just resentful of a company
works.
that doesn't like that, particularly if it's their mistake, but makes me jump through hoops to fix their mistake.
Yeah. So, yeah. So they make it hard on purpose because they get phone calls every day of people trying to steal your account. So like when you call and you're like, well, my authenticator isn't working. What do you mean your authenticator isn't working?
Did you know Blizzard got rid of their old authenticator app that they had?
I'm sure all of that would go away once they were acquired by Microsoft. I'm sure it would.
Yeah, like they
I got
an email saying that my BattleNet authenticator for my phone is no longer going to work. It's no longer going to work with logging into my BattleNet account.
Yeah, they're probably going to move you to Microsoft Authenticator.
That would be weird because BattleNet and my Microsoft they use two separate emails, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, but that's probably what they're planning on doing because it doesn't make sense for Microsoft to support two authenticator apps.
Well, there goes my Overwatch.
I'm just telling you, that's probably
it's not like they took it away from me anyway.
Oh, Nappy, you were never going back to Overwatch anyway. None of us are.
He'll be back on Overwatch. They'll make it very easy for him to switch over to Microsoft Authenticator.
No need for me to go back to it. I never touched it.
But yeah, it sucks as customers when we have to go through loops to get access to content that we purchased. Yeah, it shouldn't be a thing, but sometimes it is.
It absolutely shouldn't be.
But you should never have content just freaking deleted from your library. And this isn't the first time this has happened with Sony. This is because it's happening on the media side with the Funimation content. So
Funimation's been merging with Crunchyroll, and that created some license issues, even though they're both owned by Sony.
Yeah, so like all your Funimation content that you purchased is now gonna just be like lost.
Transferred. It's supposed to be transferred over to Crunchyroll somehow. That's what they said they're doing. They're
Until
moving
that
all
happens,
the content
it's
over.
Lost.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. So it's kind of like a trust us type situation because, when is that going to happen? Like they could at least tie it into like they could leave your Funimation account kind of in like a semi-active state to where you could still access your content via like Movies Anywhere or something like that, but they're not even doing that, which is very disappointing. And Sony also has their own additional streaming app, like Sony Bravia app or whatever they call it. I'm not sure. I know it's built into PlayStation Plus now, that streaming service they have. They could even have something with that where it kind of sits in there for now. But yeah, they should have something that kind of remediates that issue, and it's a shame that they don't. Just the way Sony is handling digital content right now is not very favorable to consumers. That's unfortunate. But this isn't a topic that we have to spend a ton of time on. We can jump onto the next. Today's probably be a short show. The news has been kind of lacking this past week.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a new Mario movie in 2026.
Yeah, we did get that announcement directly from Miyamoto on the Nintendo account. Why he doesn't have his own Twitter account to announce that, who knows? But he's kind of older.
He doesn't like the drama.
Yeah, Miyamoto needs to stay.
We'll give him a pass there.
Are we going to cover probably what is the biggest news of the past week or so?
Yeah, this is probably the biggest news, and that is it's basically a Sony proxy studio at this point because they were being fully funded by PlayStation to make a game. Deviation.
No. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Deviation Games, which was basically a bunch of former Call of Duty developers branching off and creating their own studio. They were making a brand new IP for Sony, and last year they did experience mass layoffs, and just recently last week they announced that they were shutting down. So I'm guessing Sony decided they no longer wanted that game anymore, and I guess Sony owned the license, so they couldn't just find someone else to, pitch the game to, and they had to shut down. That would be my guess. But I'm gonna throw this down to the PlayStation guy and get his thoughts on it first. And this is what this is going on the fourth studio associated with the Sony brand that has closed this generation. What are your thoughts on this, Omar?
So yeah, PlayStation clearly seems to have shifted strategy-wise. Cause so far I know Deviation were making a live service game. That's the only thing that I know about them.
Yeah, they were making a
And
AAA live service game, kind of
that's
like a first-person shooter game, for kind of the combat, Call of Duty, for
and that's about it. More, I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Is it
So,
concerning to you that you guys have had essentially 4 studios shut
not really,
since the beginning of
because
this generation?
not really, because Yubei said it. When these things are gonna get cancelled or delayed, you're gonna see what you call it, reaction to it, and we're seeing it right now. Like
So
if I knew what the game was about, what I mean by that, we had visuals, we had gameplay, and stuff like that, and then I would be disappointed about it in the sense of like, damn, a game I really wanted, it's gone. But so far, we don't know anything about it.
so at
All we
this
know is from Call of Duty devs, and that's about it.
so at this point you're trending in a direction like if this trend continues, you might end up in a spot where it's only like Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Santa Monica, Bend, Polyphony Digital, and like Firewalk, Haven, and Bungie, and Bluepoint. You might end up like down to like 9 studios if this happens, and that's not concerning. That it's kind of trending in that direction where they're trimming the fat pretty heavily.
That trimming, they had a vision, and clearly the vision is something that I didn't want to happen, and I've been against it. And from the look of it, they seem to have a switch vision, and that's it. And by doing so, you're gonna see what we've seen with the mass layoff and stuff like that. Like they shifted their focus. Remember, they said around, I think around 9 to 10 live service games, if I remember correctly. I forgot the amount.
But
Right?
this vision also it also in the grand scheme is also going to impact your core studios, the ones that you care about.
Yeah, I've seen it with Naughty Dog, and I've
Seen it with
literally said
Insomniac. Insomniac is experiencing layoffs. So I mean,
yeah,
these
because they were
decisions are also
working on.
impacting
They were
your core studios as
also
well.
they were also working on what you call it, a cancelled live service game.
Yeah.
So yeah, sadly, they seem to have shifted focus, and the question is, what they gonna do after that? And that's what I'm looking. That's what I want to see. I want to see what the new guy, because so far we only have an interim, right? He is not even the official CEO right now, right?
He is not the
PlayStation does
CEO. He's kind of
an interim.
no, he's not even the interim. Jim Ryan's still the CEO until April. He's still CEO for 3 more weeks. It's kind of like he does have power, but like typically like in these type of moves, what happens is like that person, he's kind of able to go around and assess the entire business, and he'll probably make some changes right now, but the big changes won't come until he fully takes over. So he kind of already knows what he wants to do, and we probably won't really see that probably until the way it's a media conscious industry. I don't think we're gonna start to see anything until after the summer showcase season. Like probably, I don't think we'll see anything major. If they make any major changes, I don't think we'll see it till like late June, mid July.
If you want to talk about major changes, these are making changes.
No, I'm saying when he actually takes over, it's gonna be major changes, because that's what happens when any CEO takes over, especially when he's taking over because there's a financial issue.
But we don't. He is not gonna. He is not the successor to Ryan, right? Like they haven't found anyone yet. They haven't announced anyone.
They're not actively looking for a successor to Jim Ryan right now. They want this person to take over, to Toki. They want him to take over to kind of get Sony to get PlayStation back on the right track financially, because their profit margins aren't good enough. Like he is the CFO of Sony. So he's stepping down into a lower role essentially to fix something that they deem to be an issue.
Let's wait and see then what he's gonna do. Because if it only stopped with live service game getting cut, that's good. But
he doesn't care about live service. He doesn't care about single player. He cares about red and black.
Money.
That's always.
He cared about red and black.
Yep, money.
So that's he's a CFO. That's all at heart.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, I'm gonna wait and see what's happening.
Yeah. Zero, Deviation game shutting down. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, well, this was not the big news I was thinking of.
What was the big news you were thinking of?
The death of Akira Toriyama.
Oh, we could talk about that. That's not really a gaming topic. Well, he did make a game.
I mean, considering his influence on video games, I'd certainly make the argument it is.
Yeah, we'll talk about
it.
We will not pass up talking about Akira Toriyama. But it's just not a game. It's not one of our gaming topics. So after we finish our 3 topics, we'll talk about Akira Toriyama a little bit.
Yeah. But as far as Deviation, as always, as I say, like, it's unfortunate that like the folks didn't really get to make a game, and that people are out of jobs. Did they fire them, or they move them around?
Well, they laid off a bunch of people. They're not attached to Sony. They were just funded. They're not owned by them.
Well, I mean, it's still not great when anybody loses their job.
Yeah. No, it's not great. But that's the reality.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the idea is that like Sony just said, we're not gonna do this project anymore. I do agree a little bit with Omar in the sense of like, at least it wasn't something that we saw. Yeah. It was like the Star Wars game, they got canceled, and people were kind of forward to that
game. Mandalorian first-person shooter.
Yeah, and I just think people were excited. They were, oh, okay, this seems fun. Whereas, with whatever Deviation was doing, we don't know what at all, if anything, they were cooking. So, there's some level of like, okay, well, this is cool. It's still concerning that, a multi-billion-dollar industry is still massively laying off people.
Hey, Capcom announced that they're going to be, giving out raises,
giving people raises. Yeah.
Well, I mean, their remakes have been doing pretty well.
Yeah, so like, there's the idea that like, nobody is owed a job, nobody is owed a project to have. But I do side-eye you companies when you're just like, oh, we need to cut it down and do more with less and like circle back to crunch culture and let's not get unions involved. So I'm not. It is not the worst case of what we've seen so far, but it just seems to be a symptom of, once again, a much larger problem that the industry really needs to probably begin to correct now, before we get to a point where, like you were saying, Pharaoh, like if Sony only has 9 studios, and of those studios, because all of the development costs are too massive, you'll get one. You might get 2 Sony games a generation.
About 3, 4, maybe. Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but that's kind of absurd. If you think about it realistically, like that's like, really, guys? Like a generation? Because you parse it out by like what, every 4 to 5 years, 6 maybe.
Well,
if
how
you
many
want to
have we
really
gotten
stretch
this
it.
year? How many have we gotten this generation from them that weren't like some sort of remake?
Returnal.
God of War, Returnal, Horizon Forbidden West, Sunset.
I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna count Demon Souls in the remake territory because it was a pretty old game. So you can count Demon Souls.
Demon Souls.
You got Gran Turismo.
Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man 2. We got a lot.
We got a lot. What my criticism?
They started the the next gen very hard. It just right now we're waiting on what's next.
Yeah, and my only criticism would be we got a lot, but we also got a lot that's familiar.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like Returnal being the standout. Like, we've never seen this before. I've seen God of War before. I've seen Horizon, and yeah, they're better than their predecessors. But like, it's not a brand new IP, and all of us are always chasing that brand new IP.
Yeah, we haven't gotten we got one new IP, and that was from a studio that they purchased.
Yeah, and but when you look at it, your mileage may vary, but like Returnal's a good game.
Yeah,
I'd like to see more Returnals in the world. And if Sony makes them, that would be awesome. But I've always said I'd like to see Naughty Dog do something else, and I think they're working on something. But like, if they're arguably one of the best developers in the industry, I think you can give them any project, so they don't have to continue to make The Last of Us, or Uncharted. They just don't have to. Like, they have enough clout.
I think Neil Druckmann's
they're making a new IP.
Last of Us 3, though. I think you're gonna get one more Last of Us.
Yeah, we're getting one more Last of Us, but they're gonna be in Endgame.
Yeah,
we're now focusing on new IP, and after it, we're gonna get a new Last of Us.
Yeah. I think. And it is what it is. Storytellers like to tell their story, so far be it for me to like take that away from them. Just for me, I'm just done with The Last of Us. I really like it. I'm just done with it. Like, I feel like the story that's been told is so wonderful and complete and solid. We can just be done with that series and move on. It can ride off in the sunset as one of the greatest games of all time.
I was done
and
with
then Naughty Dog.
Honestly, like, I thought the first one was...
Personally, the first one, I think the first one is pitch perfect for the most part, and we didn't need the sequel. It's fine. But Naughty Dog can then begin working on the next greatest game of all time, because that's just what they do. So, like, I don't want my doom and gloom apocalypse scenario is that we might only get 1 or 2 a generation, and that's just unacceptable.
You mean 1 or 2 of the big games? But I'm sure you'll still get your Ratchets and your Gran Turismos,
of course,
and your
but will we though? Right,
MLB
like
and
that's my concern. But the sports games not counting because they're sort of as they are. Not to discredit them in any way, but like, will we get another Ratchet?
Yeah,
right. Like, what if they're like, it's too much hassle, we're not doing it anymore? Will we get something to continue with Returnal? Like,
I can say Ratchet
it's not pushing the numbers
because Insomniac has to do so much that, I mean,
I thought Ratchet is already confirmed via the leak.
I mean, I would.
It may be confirmed, but the way that these games are getting canceled right now,
confirmation means nothing at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Then wait and see. But from the leak of it, we're getting a new Ratchet.
Yeah, and I don't have any love for Ratchet specifically.
I do, because I love it.
Yeah. So, but I know people do like it, and I don't want it to go. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I want it to go away.
Yeah. Nappy. What are your thoughts on Deviation Games shutting down?
It is honestly, it's sad. It's like they didn't even get a chance to even like put anything out. It could have been the best studio ever. They could have been the worst studio ever. We will never know now.
I don't think Totoki cared in that situation. I think it was just one of those situations where he just, at this point, we can't, we just can't afford to support a studio we don't own type thing. That's my thought at that.
I mean, I could definitely see that happening. I mean,
aggressive. So when the cuts are that aggressive, I don't know how much weight he put into the actual game of how good it was or could be, or how far along in development it was. I think he's just like, nope.
Yeah.
We got to get profitable.
Yeah, I kind of wish the studio had its own fund separate from Sony that they can work on an independent project. It's honestly really unfortunate because again, those are people who are working. That it's one less game for Sony, or that could have been possibly multi-platform. It's honestly, it's not a good thing. I mean, the game industry, we already suffer enough as it is. Like I already figured out, like first-person Star Wars shooter game that got canceled.
Yeah.
From
EA,
there was like a game that. Yeah, EA canceled that. There was another game that looked like another Star Wars game that looked like a third person, looked like you were Han Solo, but you weren't Han Solo.
The only other Star Wars game I know about that's coming out that they actually revealed is the one they showed at the Xbox show last year. It's like
The
Outlaws or something like that,
right? Yeah, Outlaw.
I don't think that's canceled though. I think that's coming.
No, that's coming out, I think.
Yeah, that's coming out this year.
Is it? Oh, because the only Star Wars game I see right now on Steam is they're remaking Battlefront, the original Battlefront 1 and 2, with modern controls and new servers, and everybody's just psyched about that. Because not only is it the original Battlefield games everyone knows and loves, it can run on a potato. You literally don't even need a GPU to run those games. So, but back to the company getting shut down because of funding issues. It's really sad. I don't like seeing people lose their job, especially or game studio that hasn't even published anything. So I'm like, in the same way, I kind of like, damn, I didn't even get to see the potential of this studio. But at the same time, like, well, at least I didn't see anything because I don't get let down. It's just more so like, I guess Sony really is in a tight financial position right now where they have to save up all their money.
Oh man, it kind of makes me think like that whatever that studio is working on. I'm thinking that it could have been maybe either a Resistance or a SOCOM or a Killzone that they were working on.
If it was a SOCOM game, I would have been really upset.
I'm thinking I think it was one of those three. I think they were working on an established Sony IP. I don't think they were making a new IP from scratch. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I'll release a source. If I would be disgruntled employee and release a source code.
We won't know till like 3 years down the road when someone has a report on what the game they were actually working on was. But that's my thoughts. Welcome to the show, Jubei. Good to see you.
Hey, he's alive.
Heard you were streaming some Madden. What you been up to? What you been playing?
Well, Madden, obviously. I had a league game.
Okay.
It was a barn burner. Got his ass though. Good shit. I haven't really been playing too much. Been kind of slow. Just not much to report on the playing front outside of the occasional Madden game. Dabbled in Fortnite a little bit. It's just been a mad week for gaming for me.
Okay.
Need to get back into Final Fantasy and everything else. Like my backlog is just.
You still got to beat Remake, so you know.
I do.
The But yeah, what are your thoughts on Deviation Games closure?
Oh, the studio that said, "Oh, we have all this financial security thanks to Sony." I think it's sad. Just sucks we don't know what they were actually working on. What was the point in investing in them if you're just going to shutter them? People made a big deal about Scale Down getting canceled. At least, Microsoft didn't close that damn studio that was working on it.
Well, I mean, Platinum Games is kind of like their own thing. So.
We actually saw visual and gameplay, unlike Deviation, where we saw absolutely nothing.
We should have saw some stuff. Why didn't we? Whose fault was that?
Do we know how far they were in development, though?
We don't know how long they've been working on whatever game they were working on. I mean, they are a newly formed studio. I don't even know how old the studio is. Is it even 3 years old yet? The studio itself?
Maybe not. Maybe they shouldn't have hung their hats on Sony bailing them out.
Well,
they did.
Do we know if they
Dang, man, you got no pity for this company.
Do we know if they went to Microsoft and Microsoft said yes or no?
We don't.
All right.
We don't.
So what I would probably say happened in that particular instance is that those particular set of developers were probably recruited and they were like, hey, just make your own studio. We'll fund your first game type deal. That's probably what happened. Most likely. Like Sony probably reached out and was recruiting people like, we want to make this game, but we don't have a studio to make it. We know that you always wanted to, have your own studio. How about we fund your first project? It'll be a Sony IP like Persistent, SOCOM, Killzone, whatever, and we'll fund the game, and you'll get your studio off the ground. That's probably what happened. Like most likely, because it takes a lot of money to kick off a studio. So and they didn't have their own IP. They kicked off their studio with someone else's IP. That would give me the idea that they were kind of recruited to open a studio. Like kind of pulled away from Activision, Blizzard, or whatever studios they were currently at.
Right, but why were they forced to close? Is it because
they were fully funded by Sony? They didn't have their own IP.
Yeah, a funding company decided to get into an arms race with $1 trillion company.
So, like that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like it was a situation where they had the funds secured to open the studio on their own. It looks like they were, reached out to like a group of developers and, like, hey, open a studio and we'll fund it type thing.
I would tell them I want my money back.
Nah, it's gone.
But
you know how bad that would look on Sony we're gonna fund you, now we're gonna close you down. And then
we would have been fighting.
Get our money back.
I'm just saying, Sony, I would have talked to Sony and be like, so I quit. You could say I'll quit my job because of you guys, and now I'm jobless again. Better be a severance package or something.
Yeah, no severance package because you're not a part of Sony. You don't get a severance.
Oh, you're a contractor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, fuck no! You better You better pay the rest of that contract then.
Yeah, there's no severance package with that. Yeah.
They better pay off the rest of their contract, man. They can't just up and relieve a contract like that.
You're making assumptions over.
I'm just saying it is an assumption, but
when you're contracted, you don't. If that contract's up, you don't.
When contract's up for renewal, I don't know how the contract is written, but usually if a company just up straight leaves a contract for whatever reason, they have to make a really valid reason, or else it shit like goes into court.
It's a breach. Otherwise,
there's no severance package. There's an exit fee from a contract, but that exit fee doesn't include a severance for every employee that got let go. Like if you're like
that depends on the company. I'm saying that depends on the company. The owner of the company could have been the asshole and been like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm keeping all the money and just left all the other employees a part of that company with nothing.
Most likely what happened when it's a small company, bro. Like we're talking about small business here as far as like being like
what? Like 30, 50 employees?
Yeah, it's a small business. That's what I'm saying. Like
you can't split the money between 30 people? You think one person will be that selfish?
Small businesses do not do severance packages. Like let's be real.
They don't. They can't afford it.
small businesses don't like. Small businesses barely cover your benefits package.
Yo, I would walk up to that person's house. All 29 of us walk up to that one person's house.
Like seriously, if you seriously like are looking for like a severance package, you better be at least working for like a mid-sized business. You know, you don't necessarily got to work for a corporation, but if you're working for like, what's deemed a small business, like less than 300 employees, you're probably not getting any kind of severance. Probably not. Just saying.
I hope those who lost their jobs, can find some new stuff. But yeah. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of studio closures on that blue side, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, for this generation.
Yeah, several. And for what? What was the point?
To save money, because Sony has been backed into a corner once again.
Why would you wouldn't have to save money if you weren't just trying to go on a buying spree to try to match Microsoft. You could have just kept doing what you were doing.
Into a corner. Sony,
yeah, they were. Literally, the PlayStation 4 saved them.
No, okay, I'm talking about this generation. I'm talking about this.
Yeah, this gen they didn't have to make any of those big purchases at all. They had no reason to.
Yeah, they like. I've always said Jim Ryan was not the guy to be CEO after Sean Layden, but that's a topic for another day.
What's going to happen to Fire Sprite, man? That game comes out and flops. They going to close too?
Fire Sprite, they're making Concord. That's coming out this year, right? No, it's not. It was supposed to come out this year, but then Totoki said nothing till April of next year, May of next year.
What if it flops?
I don't know. If it does, I don't know. We gotta wait and see what Totoki does when he actually has the full keys to the ship in April.
We'll see. I just don't want to hear people be like, "Oh, it's okay," when another studio closes due to money.
But how
you the market leader and you having money problems? You have to make cuts. What's going
on?
Damn, Jubei, you really kind of throw on this.
I mean,
I really am. When they announced, we're going to do all these games as a service, I said them shits ain't coming out, and I was right. So far, them shits ain't coming out.
Sony's issue comes down to a couple of key things. They purchased way too many studios when they didn't need to because they were already getting the content. That they like. Xbox wasn't going to buy Bungie. They didn't need to buy Bungie. Xbox wasn't gonna buy Bluepoint. They didn't need to buy Bluepoint. Like they just went on a spending spree that they didn't need to go on, and then on top of that, doubling down on VR2 and it flopping didn't help because that's a lot of R&D cost. And
would it have flopped if it worked on PC and your old games worked? The answer to that question is no.
That's still possibly because VR ultimately is still a niche market.
No, you would have convinced people to buy it because the people already bought the PSVR 1. They would have jumped ship with the newest headset as long as their ship worked.
I don't think your argument is PC. I think your argument in that case would be backwards compatibility. I think once there was no backwards compatibility from PSVR to PSVR 2, I think that kind of turned people away. But I mean, the PC audience didn't care about PSVR to PSVR 2. But yeah, I think it's just
PC. Why would they care about it?
I think it's just hardware, and then trying to expand too quickly when they didn't need to. If they only would have purchased Bluepoint, Nixus, and Housemarque, if they only would have purchased those three and not done the Bungie, the Firewalk, and the Fire Sprite and the Haven, I think they'd be doing really good right now. I do.
What the hell is Haven working on?
Haven is working on that Fair Games. I think that's what it's called, Fair Games game. Like the heist game.
Flop games. Okay.
We'll see. It may do well. We'll just have to wait and see.
I don't have faith.
I give people a chance. She's experienced. She's made a couple of big games in the past. Give her opportunity. She might actually make something.
Their website is also stupid. Yeah, I don't have any faith in it.
Damn. Like, damn, man.
Jube's on one today. I'm trying to keep it even. You know what I'm saying? But
damn, let them breathe.
We gotta remember he is Captain Xbox, so he's gonna be a little biased on this one.
I mean, how biased can you be?
Nappy, I don't know if you know the story. Sony hurt my feelings personally. They did something personally to me.
When we get into this third topic, we'll see how messy he can be. And topic 3 of the day. Let me get this timestamp in. Oh, god dang it. And that is Sea of Thieves, which is an Xbox game that is now coming to PlayStation. Live service game. Is debuted on the PlayStation Store, and it is now number 1 on the pre-order charts, which is quite interesting, considering that you have a PlayStation Studios IP, Rise of the Ronin coming out next month, and you also have another PlayStation Studios IP, because they did buy that IP as well. Stellar Blade. You have two of their bigger IPs this year. Well, their only IPs this year that we know of. That'll be dropping the rest of the year, and Sea of Thieves is outperforming those two games. Even outperforming Dragon's Dogma, another big game that's coming out next month.
Dragon Dogmas 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Number
More
1.
pre-orders, bro. Crazy.
The pirate game that had to be saved. It's not a bad pirate game.
It did not need.
It did not need to be saved.
They just needed to release.
It is a community-grown game, basically.
Yeah, I remember. The beginning. Remember, some kid told me put on my old sweaty cum rags, you N-word. And after that, I never returned back to Sea of Thieves. I'm like, oh, they really think they pirates out here. Once I pull up to their house, I'll beat the shit out of them. No, I'm dead serious. That's what happened.
I'm sorry. Before I dive too deep into this topic, we did get a question from. I do want to hit the chat's comments, and Legendary Yobi, Hogwarts Legacy 2 will be single player. It makes no sense to make it live service alongside with Quidditch multiplayer game they're making as well. That would be suicide for Hogwarts Legacy IP. Maybe, but I'm just going off of what WB has said, that they're only doing live service from here on out. So,
you saying they're making a Quidditch game?
No, Hogwarts Legacy 2. I'm guessing it'll have some type of live service elements, like maybe some special wands you can purchase, or
nah. Make the live service Quidditch, bro. That's it. Give me Quidditch seasons.
Well, WB said we're going full live service. We're not doing any single player experience.
You think that'll be worth it?
For Quidditch? I wanted a full game of Blitzball, bro. You can give me Quidditch.
And then another one from Legendary Yobi. He asked Omar a question. What game do you want Sony to work on that's in their backlog of IPs?
Real talk, the only game I ever wanted is Legend of Dragon Remake.
Legend of Dragon, okay.
Or Rogue Galaxy 2, for example. But
Rogue Galaxy 2? No.
Yeah, I don't think Legend of Dragon is gonna happen. You probably got more of a chance for Rogue Galaxy.
Rogue Galaxy 2.
But yeah, back to Sea of Thieves. So yeah, it's number 1 on the PS Store, which is quite surprising. Even Nappy was surprised. So yeah, I'm gonna and it's in front of a bunch of big games that are coming out in the next 60 days, basically. Omar, what are your thoughts on that?
Real talk, I have no idea if because I have seen that both Patron and Enterblade have been charting on pre-orders. So I'm not sure is that now that they already have been counted and been on top, now a different game is on top, or that Sea of Thieves have beat them both at the same time. That's what I'm not sure about.
Pre-orders don't count until the sale is complete.
Then we're gonna see how many sales Sea of Thieves gonna have then.
Maybe because Microsoft does not really report.
PlayStation always reports their numbers, so
yeah, but they don't report other people's numbers.
I mean, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see
this might be the chance for them to do that.
We're gonna see in
all Microsoft reports is players.
We're gonna see with PlayStation. We're gonna see with MPD. If Sea of Thieves is gonna be number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yeah, that still doesn't give you like a sales number.
I mean, it does give you an estimate. For sales, we're gonna go to something else. We can
typically what happens is we get an MPD number, and then we'll be like, we'll look and see who on that MPD list announces their sales. So then we'll say, if Resident Evil sold 4 million and whatchamacallit is above it, then they've sold at least 4 million, 5 million copies. That's typically how it goes, but like MPD doesn't actually give you a hard sales number typically.
No, but it's still better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better than nothing for sure.
We're gonna see where the number's sitting at. Other than that, what I am genuinely surprised about is how PlayStation being so much hands-on with this game. Basically, they've been giving Rare almost close to free reign, in the sense of like giving them people to work with, always available to be there for them, and most important, teaching them about the console, how to work with it. So clearly, this is something PlayStation taken seriously, and from the look of it, Rare have been appreciative of them for doing so. So I'm looking forward to see where where they're gonna go with it. As for me, I'm never touching the game. One, too many games to play. Two, not interested from what I've seen. But yeah, that's for me. Real talk. The only way I might actually touch it if they do a collaboration with One Piece, which I'm genuinely surprised they haven't done one right now.
Well, they've been on the Disney wave lately, right? They did Pirates of the Caribbean. They've done what else have they done?
Yo, One Piece and Sea of Thieves. Like, just take my money.
That would break you, right? That would break you.
It would literally make me bend the knee, and I probably would.
I know, and it would boost up their sales. Cause One Piece pretty big. Can you imagine Gear 5?
Just even if it's cosmetics, give me their ship. Like, give me the straw hat. Like you can do little things like that.
Can you imagine if you introduce CFC where you can actually do the coup d'etat? Like, you can absolutely go far with this one. Which is crazy that they haven't jumped on that train yet. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much you can do with like a pirate game now. I mean, we can honestly be talking about Peter Pan type shit. Like, there's so many things, but nah, One Piece would do it.
Yeah, One Piece would definitely be big. I'm not discounting that. I'm not a One Piece guy, but I recognize how big One Piece is. And that might actually give them a lot of penetration in the Eastern market that they may have not had before.
Like Japan would light that damn game on fire to play it.
not just Japan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you already know,
Korea,
you already know.
China. Probably be pretty big. But yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, Yobi. I'm just saying I'm taking WB at face value. If they say that we're not making single player games anymore, I take them at face value. They're not making them anymore. So I figure there'll be some sort of live service element in Hogwarts Legacy. Whatever that live service element. I'm not saying it'll be a full live service game, but they'll find additional ways to monetize.
They're gonna kill their own IP.
They don't have a problem doing that. It's
congratulations.
It's WB.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, that would be good if they coincided the One Piece with the season 2 release on Netflix. That would be a good idea.
Oh yeah, that would be a fantastic idea, especially that would be interesting because then you can't do Gear 5, but hey, you
still can do it. It's just you're just coinciding you're just doing the release at the same time, so you get that extra marketing push.
I mean, it's One Piece. They don't need marketing.
Everything needs marketing. You gotta know that it's there in order to buy it and play it. But yeah, Jubei, you were already talking. So, what are your thoughts on a game that you enjoy playing from time to time? Sea of Thieves being number one pre-order on the PlayStation Store.
I think it's fucking awesome, to be honest. Like, it's really fucking cool. It also tells me. Oh, hold on.
Yep. Daddy duties have taken over.
Yep. It also tells me that there's people that were like, "Oh, this game sucks," and asterisk because it's not on PlayStation. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Does it kind of prove to you in a sense that you already knew this, but that Xbox has always had some pretty good exclusives? Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they needed a better release cadence, but they've always had some pretty good exclusives.
They're underappreciated.
Wait, hold up. We're getting the complete version of Thieves. You know, the version that came out after. How many years did it take Thieves to be quote unquote real good?
Like a year. It didn't take that long.
No, it took one.
Yeah,
it took 1 year.
Yeah, so we're getting every single content. We're not
it's a live service game.
Yeah,
of course you should. Welcome, and y'all are going to be some scrubs on MCs, bro. I'm telling you. PlayStation might quit from the griefing. I can't fucking wait.
Oh no! You guys there is no friendship in Sea of Thieves.
What did you say?
There is no friendship in Sea of Thieves. Let you try to go on a ship by yourself in the middle of the seas. Some random ship's going to see you. They will shoot your ship down. Your ship will be destroyed. You'll see this random beacon. The random beacon will take you to some random island, and you're pretty much like SOL.
Yep, and it's going to keep happening. I had somebody chase me for 2 hours of real time in that game. The griefing will be real. Trust me. If they can differentiate, like, oh, who's playing on PlayStation or not, like, I need to see the little icon. If I see something that tells me you're not on my platform, bro, you're gonna have a bad day.
You're just gonna hunt Sony players? What you gonna do? Have an Xbox flag on your ship?
Probably.
I got
Captain Xbox. I got delivered. Don't put it past them.
Like I got that flag already. I'm ready at this point. Like, I'm going to make doing even the simplest of tasks a pain in the ass. And I'm okay with that.
He is going to hunt down all the noobs. You're going to be a PK.
This dude, he's funny.
Yeah, he's gonna be
funny until
I'm gonna be that guy that's waiting outside of
like, have a ball.
I'm gonna be the guy that's waiting outside of the tall tale for you, and I'm gonna prevent you from starting it.
Why are you you gotta let him get through the beginning stages first.
No, I'm going to do something to cause the door to not open for you, and I'm going to grief you until you go away, and then I'm going to go do
it. So you're going to kill the game for PlayStation gamers, basically.
Oh well, that's tough.
This is clearly for his personal satisfaction.
If they report you then for doing that,
they can't.
What's up?
The people already.
No, they can't.
It's part of
literally they let people talk like a pirate, and some people take it way too far.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people take it way too far.
Even like just griefing people doing like fortresses and stuff. You can literally just lock other players out of playing the game. Just part of the game.
Yeah, they will let you do that. It's a pirate game apparently, so they let you be a pirate.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You got all that treasure on board? Oh, dang, like you're right there at the outpost. Some people will just post up at the outpost and just wait for people to come drop shit off so they can sink them and just take it themselves.
Yes, they can do that. Imagine working as hard as you did, getting some loot from an island, just for all that shit to go away because some fucking asshole decides to sink your ship.
Well, I'm gonna kick this down to one of our more sensible Xbox gamers who just recently joined the community and doesn't have all this vitriol towards these pending PlayStation gamers that are on the way. Zero, what are your thoughts on Sea of Thieves being number one on the pre-orders of the PlayStation Store?
I was gonna say, because if I jump in, I'll just be as new as the PlayStation guys, just trying to figure it all out.
You won't be getting hunted down.
I guess not. So that's a positive. And I guess I could just go back and forth and actually test it out since I will have it on both. But I think
hold on, Zero. Before you go, I will also say PC players are just going to make everybody's life miserable. It's going to happen. They already make.
Oh yes, they are.
I mean, like I grew up in the streets of GTA 5 online. I'm well aware of how bad it can be.
Was that on PC?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
No, I know it's on PC. I'm talking about, did you play on PC version?
I played on console, and it was still a nightmare.
Because PC was such a nightmare that nobody plays on just the community servers.
Yeah, like it was an absolute nightmare. But still had a good time. I nuclear striked a couple of folks, and then I just wound up cheating to get a lot of money with sort of doing all that type of stuff. But for Sea of Thieves, I gotta say I'm happy too. I think it's kind of cool. It definitely goes to show that like sometimes what system a game is on, colors people's impressions of the game. Because it can't be a bunch of Xbox players excited to play Sea of Thieves on PS5, right? It's got to be a bunch of PS5 players who, I guess, always wanted to play Sea of Thieves, but just weren't buying an Xbox for it, which is fair. So they too get to jump into the high seas and have fun with their friends and create, great content and memories amongst that. And so I think that's cool, man. Like I can't, that it does higher than the other ones. I don't know what that speaks to outside of like Sea of Thieves is established. Like we know it, we understand it, we know what it is, and how it operates. The rest are kind of question marks until proven to be something interesting. People seem to find Sea of Thieves interesting, and I think that's cool, man. Like that's in a less exclusive future, like that is what it would look like. Like everybody gets to play everywhere, and have that enjoyment with that game with their friends or the people that they might meet along the way. So I'm okay with it. I don't think it's such a horrible thing. It is certainly interesting, but again, I think that speaks more to perception of games because they're on a system rather than Sea of Thieves is quote unquote better than say Rise of the Ronin or Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's better.
That's how I view it.
I don't think it's better. I think
you can't compare them.
What I will say is totally I think that we as the hardcore gamer have gotten so caught up in narrative-driven games, whereas most gamers just want something they can jump into and have fun. They're not always looking for, quote-unquote, a narrative. That's why I like games like Fall Guys and Fortnite and
Helldivers.
Like that's why these games are so big, because there isn't this story. There isn't this
So
yeah.
I want to say something. According to a friend of mine, so the PlayStation pre-order thing, to which that work for the record, it constantly changes. So if a game pre-orders have been live for a long time, it typically will drop because a new game showed up. That's why Sea of Thieves dropped so fast again after it was stopped for like 8 hours. So yeah, so it was, and now it's no longer anymore. It's just when it happened. This is why every time we see something chart, it means it's high score. I'm not sure if it's for the week or for the month.
It's over. It's within a time window. This is our number one pre-order within this window of time.
Yeah. So something like Terrorblade have had its time window all long gone. Rise of Ronin as well, and Dragon Dogma even as well. So it makes sense for Sea of Thieves to be now the top charting. That's why.
Yeah. So.
But
yeah, I was just saying that.
Do you play?
I think that gamers are just looking for a fun factor. But yeah, Nab, you didn't get your thoughts in on Sea of Thieves being number one on the PlayStation Store.
My first question for does PlayStation have any like multiplayer community driven games at all, or
Helldivers is really the first one to take off.
Yeah.
That's like a PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah.
So you guys have been on this narrative driven solo journey.
Primarily, yeah.
For PlayStation exclusives for the most part, yeah.
Not per se,
on the PlayStation exclusive side, yes.
I know a lot of people that play Call of Duty, Madden, or
no, we're not saying they don't play live service games, but they're just not from Sony. Like Helldivers is the first one that's
games.
Like from Sony.
Yeah, no, the only thing they can think of was the Faction, which is why they waited on Faction 2.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would not expect that.
Also, the other games I can think of is the Gran Turismo.
Okay, yeah, that's Sony exclusive, plus with y'all movie and stuff. Yeah, that's actually. I mean, I'm glad to see that Sea of Thieves actually is coming to PlayStation, because honestly, a live service game should never be exclusive to one console. That's just setting yourself up for failure most of the time. So good luck, PlayStation players. I don't know if you could turn cross platform off. I hope y'all guys can, because you got people like Jubei who is going to make your life a living hell. So
he can't make mine. So I'm safe from his.
I do not know. I hope you could turn the multi-platform off, because if you can't, if there's like hundreds of Jubeis out there.
I mean, if they're smart, they should, because even with Helldivers, you can turn it off with PC players. No offense to you, but a lot of PC are on the cheating.
We're not cheating.
They are absolutely cheating with Helldivers.
We are not. We've been playing a lot more. We got more playtime than you, but we're not cheating. You know the anti-cheat engine they use on our PCs is how invasive that shit is?
Literally untouchable. I can pull up videos showing you that.
I don't know, because that anti-cheat software was so fucking invasive. Like it actually damn near got to our.
Literally, they wrote articles about it.
I was playing Madden.
You have to see it, because I haven't heard anything about a bunch of cheaters in Helldivers too. Plus, the devs have been very, very active with the community.
The devs close to kill their own game, in my opinion, with the amount of stuff they've been doing. Especially
the nerfing.
Giving nuclear weapons a fucking shockwave that auto kill you. Like, nah.
I mean, so it does make sense for like some nuclear. If you're talking about a nuclear weapon. Because in Helldivers 1, nuclear weapons, if you still could see the bomb drop on your screen, you were dead. So it kind of makes sense to make it a fairly far distance, because nuclear bombs, if the bomb doesn't kill you, the shockwave usually will. So I'm not mad about that. The fact that the breaker got nerfed makes sense, because that was an nerfed. Yeah, it was an early. That's an early early weapon you can get in the game. Should not be the best weapon in the game
that you can get from the game. It actually beats the actual quote unquote what should be the best weapon, which is fucking locked, mind you. is the fucking fire shotgun, which is not even better than the snipe than the breaker. That's how good the breaker used to be.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a mid-range. It's still good. You just got to be up close and personal. You can't be scared no more. You don't need a mid-range auto shotgun. That's a bit much for early weapon in the game. So I mean, I understand the whole purpose of balance. Plus, they just added mech suits. The one thing I was asking, like, where are the mech suits now? And people are like going crazy with them right now.
Yeah, but apparently, from the look of the new anime type, we need the mech suit because them.
They didn't even pull out all the rest of them from Helldivers 1. There was like there's actually good like 4 more left from Helldivers 1 that hasn't even reached over to 2 yet.
I dropped the game. I'm been way busy with Reverse, so I'm gonna get back to it later.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see a lot more factions because they are pushing all the factions from 1 over to 2. So it's gonna be interesting. But back to back to Sea of Thieves. I'm like I said, I'm glad for Sea of Thieves to be cross-platform now. PlayStation people, be careful. Jubei's gonna make your life a living hell.
Yo ho, me hearties, yo ho.
All right. So we'll do a little.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves will have full crossplay support on PlayStation 5. So Jubei, enjoy your hunting.
Oh yeah. You gonna think it's some admirals out there, bro. I'm just about to make somebody's life hell.
Okay. So let's see. Let me change this. We're gonna do a bonus topic.
Let's go.
A bonus.
See. Yeah, we're gonna.
Please tell me if I spell this wrong.
Immortalize the goat.
I think that's how they spell it in Japanese. I spell it right?
Well,
Akira Toriyama, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So, Akira Toriyama recently passed. I think it was Saturday that he passed.
Yeah, something like. Well, he actually passed March the 1st, but we got the confirmation. We got the information like.
Like last week. Okay.
A week later. Yeah.
So he died of an aneurysm apparently.
A brain aneurysm.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate. He is responsible for one of the greatest games of all time, one of the greatest RPGs, Chrono Trigger. Near and dear to many hearts. But beyond that, he is most known for his work with Dragon Ball. He's the creator of the Dragon Ball series, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. He's behind most of the movies, the mangas. So yeah, wasn't even 70 years old yet. He was, I think, 68.
68.
Yeah, 68.
Yeah.
Sucks to see him go. He had a lot more to offer to the community, not just anime community, but I'm sure his family, his friends, and his community. So it's sad to see him go. I think the funniest thing that I think needs to stick was Stephen A. Smith referring to Vegeta as Vegeta. He should be
Vegeta.
He should now be known as Vegeta until he defeats Goku in combat or he defeats a significant enemy. He should be Vegeta from here on out. But yeah, I'm gonna pass this around. Jubei, what are your initial thoughts on the passing of Akira Toriyama and his impact on you as far as gaming and anime and all that good stuff? Yep. Well, Jubei's gone. I'm gonna kick it down to 0-0.
Sorry, what? My bad.
Okay. Oh, now
I missed
Juve's
that.
here.
Sorry.
I
My
was
baby was crying.
getting
What's
your
up?
thoughts on the passing of Akira Toriyama and his impact on
Oh,
you and
oh.
Gaming, anime, manga, all that stuff.
I was hurt. I was mad hurt. I'm also mad at the fact that he died on the 1st and they hid this for so long before it finally came out.
Yeah.
I mean, privacy for the family, etc. I get it.
I mean, you gotta let the family know first before media.
Yeah, of course. I just expected it, to be a thing. I mean, Dragon Ball is not my first anime. That goes to This is the North Star and Akira. But geez, to say like my childhood, like there was nothing better than coming home after school knowing that Toonami was going to be on for like 2-3 hours and catching that new episode of Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
That was just the thing to look forward to on any given day, and then go to school and draw it and talk about it with my friends.
So was anime back acceptable for you guys, or were you part of the nerd?
Anime was not initially. Dragon Ball made anime accessible for us.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Even niggas that was like, "Oh, that's dorky," they still fucked with Dragon Ball.
So without Dragon Ball,
anime that took off, and then the other animes kind of followed on the back of it, and the States.
That's why it's in rap bars. You know what I mean? Like, it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Yes. Without Dragon Ball, the Western audience would not have gotten as much anime as we do today. We would still be like going through websites and stuff. We wouldn't have nowhere near as much access to anime as we do now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember like the toys and shit. Like that shit was everywhere.
Oh man, I mean, we used to buy the toys. Well, I remember when the Budokai series went out. Man, Budokai 2 and 3. Man, I was playing that heavily.
Yeah, especially
even
when they were on the
Budokai 1
Wii
was
and
its
you could
weird-ass
actually like do the Kamehameha.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. You know what's even crazy? Even Justin Chadwick had to make his condolences, and he apologized for a terrible job he did at Goku.
Yeah, I saw
He
that.
didn't apologize for Goku. He said the adaptation that we made. Like, it wasn't all on him. He was just involved. That movie that we don't talk about.
I don't know anything about the story.
Don't worry about it. Don't even watch it. It's not.
We're not talking about that. We're not mentioning that movie by name because no, absolutely not.
Oh wait, are you talking about?
Don't you say
Hollywood?
If you say that name, I'm gonna slap you through the phone.
Are you talking about the Hollywood one?
Yeah, the live action.
Okay, I'm not mentioning the name, but I know. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just that like Akira Toriyama has touched so many people, and like honestly, it took off. Shone's Jump career took off like right after Dragon Ball Z with Toonami, when Adult Swim came on, and then all of a sudden you had the big three, is what the Western artists call it, with Naruto, Bleach, and
One Piece.
But it's crazy.
Naruto
never came on. Cartoon
Naruto,
Network.
Bleach, and One Piece were the big three because Dragon Ball Z was his own thing.
That was
considered like the GOAT.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, Naruto wasn't on Cartoon Network. It wasn't on Toonami.
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yes, it was.
Absolutely was. Yes,
it came later for us, Pharaoh. It didn't come till much later. We were sort of stopped watching Toonami by the time.
Yeah. By the time it came to Toonami, I was on Adult Swim. I was on that 12. I was on the 12 to 2 shift with Inuyasha.
Yeah.
And Big O and Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, watch.
I mean, if you got Yu Yu Hakusho as well.
Yu Yu Hakusho came on in the 4 o'clock window though. It came on from 4 to 6.
It came on Toonami. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I just remember Toonami Saturday.
Like Ronin Warriors and stuff. Yeah, they came on during the 4 to 6.
Tenchi Muyo, like there's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Heck, Hamtaro.
No, Tenchi Muyo is cool, but Tenchi Universe is where it was at.
Facts.
Tenchi Universe. To me, that was the best one, Tenchi Universe.
But anyway, all these animes we're talking about now, back on Toonami, we wouldn't have been able to experience them if it wasn't for Akira Toriyama with Dragon Ball. Yeah. That's how big Dragon Ball impact was in the Western audience.
Tech TV has some bangers.
You know what the crazy part is? You guys are focusing on gaming, on anime, we wouldn't have so many iconic gaming characters if not for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you're right. You got to look at all of Chrono Trigger.
I had
Dragon Quest. This man was involved in so much. Even Blue Dragon.
Even Street Fighter. A lot of things from Street Fighter were inspired by Dragon Ball.
Street Fighter. Heck, in Tekken, Hayachi and some other character literally from Dragon Ball. And heck, and this is the crazy part. Mario was copied from Dr. Slump.
Yeah, from Aurelia. Yeah, yep. The run she used to do. Yeah, that's the Tanuki Suit Mario copped that.
Like that's fucking crazy that he had so much reach.
Yeah, and it's sad because we're getting Sandland too. Oh, I'm buying that now. I'm just buying it off.
Oh yeah, the new Dragon Ball game that's coming out.
Yeah,
because
it's not Dragon Ball, but it's from the same author.
When I was growing up, I caught Dragon Ball Z before it came to Cartoon Network. It used to be, back when I was growing up, there used to be a thing, Saturday morning cartoons from 9 to noon, and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah,
come on now.
Dragon Ball Z took the hour block from I think 9 to 10.
Yep,
and it was the only show. It was the only show
where I was at.
in the 9 to 12 window. They had like a little 8 to 9 window where it was like kiddie cartoons, and then like from 9 to 12 it was like a little bit more mature cartoons, I guess.
I remember it. I remember Dragon Balls and Sonic Underground, and there was something else.
Yeah, but
Cube. There was like a Cube show. I was remembering.
I come from a different.
Are you talking about Cubics?
No, it was Dragon Ball Z. Digimon came on Saturdays.
Digimon,
because Pokemon had Monday through Friday. And then Pokemon and Monster Rancher both had Monday through Friday. Digimon was only on Saturday. And then
Monster Rancher had a Saturday too.
It had Saturdays too?
Yeah.
I think for a little bit you had Mega Man on Saturdays. For a little bit they had a Mega Man show.
So I had a totally different. How do I say this? We had Adult Swim, but we have a channel called Urine, and on it we had DBZ. We also had Digimon, Pokemon. We had Sailor Moon, and we also had a few cartoons like Transformers and stuff like that. So anime have been very super crazy when
we were growing up, the worst part about when we were growing up with Dragon Ball Z is that they only had the license to air from the beginning of the Saiyan saga all the way until Goku landed on Namek, and they were reset. And it was like that for what, like 4 or 5 years?
For 4 or 5 years.
So for 4 or 5, and we did not care at all. We would watch it from Saiyan Saga to Goku landed on Namek for 4 or 5 years religiously. Like the same thing over and over again. We did not care. We would watch that joint.
I had no idea.
It wasn't and then it was like one day they finally got the license to do the rest of the Namek saga, and then we finally got to see like Goku go Super Saiyan. It was OD from there.
Oh, you never saw Super? Okay, interesting.
We saw Super Saiyan for the first time late.
Let's not forget when he got stuck on the planet and then it reset again, and we were just like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah. So like they didn't even finish the Namek saga. When they got the license, when they expanded the license for the Namek saga, they only went until Goku last minutes on Namek, and Namek exploded, and then that you didn't get any more episodes for a while.
And you sit here thinking Goku's dead and shit, and then
it was a horrible release cadence, but people were loyal because they loved Dragon Ball Z that much.
Facts. You know how many times I had to get stuck watching them fighting Python and shit, and then damn filler episodes, like
bro, I used to get excited just to watch Goku train at 100 gravity.
Yeah. Flying in the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, the influence of Goku of people charging up.
Yeah, you had to deal with like the print, like that Princess Snake and shit. Like people that only watch Kai didn't even get that. Like,
wait, Dragon Ball Kai did not show the Princess Snake?
No, it's filler,
Dragon
bro.
Ball Kai pretty much cuts out all of Snake Way.
It cuts out all of the filler, bro. If it's not a fight or an important
if it's not
dialogue,
they pretty much cut out all
I
of Snake Way.
mean, Snake Way though, that's
like
filler?
Goku like finding like
Snake Way itself
the
is not
food
filler,
that would like sustain him to get all the way through Snake Way, like that isn't in there, and him falling into hell.
I didn't know Kai cut that out.
That's not in there.
That's sad.
Because it's not important. It's filler.
I mean, it kind of is. You can see what Goku was doing was like running across the. No, now
what he was doing.
Like, even
even
a lot of Gohan's training is cut out in Dragon Ball Z Kai.
What?
Piccolo.
Wait, what? That's the whole. We got to know his trauma. There's a reason why Gohan hates fighting. This man was like 3 years old. Up here, got to fight Raditz. His uncle slapped him in the back of the neck.
Well, you see that part. You just don't really see him training with Piccolo. You don't see the whole part of like him learning to survive and everything before he.
That's why he has trauma. That's why he hates fighting. Like, damn, like Kai's fucking up, man.
Kai was like 200.
He just hates fighting because he's soft. He a mama's boy. That's all it is, bro.
No, he man, we saw the way how Piccolo treated him.
Still a mama's boy.
Dad?
Soft.
You mean like a dad?
Nappy, I know you're a fan of cosplay and stuff like that. Have you ever cosplayed as Goku or
I actually
character?
I cosplay as Gohan.
like
which version?
Adult. I was more so adult Gohan, and I did have I used to have a Saiyaman suit. I don't have the helmet anymore, unfortunately.
Nappy, I'm gonna tell you right now. If Goten was born first, they wouldn't have needed Goku to come back. He would have mopped them all.
Goten. Oh,
no,
in the current comic. Oh god,
soft.
the current chapters. Oh my god, I don't know how they're going to do this without Akira Toriyama. I know he wasn't writing the chapters, but he was overseeing them.
Nah, he wasn't writing Super. This is gonna be fine.
I mean, because right now, we just saw the growth spurt between Goten and Trunks right now. They just went through a growth spurt. So they're like in their teenage versions of themselves. And
Goten would have mopped Nappa up. Would have waxed.
Well, now Goten and Trunks both would have mopped Nappa up.
No, I'm saying if Goten would have been born first and Piccolo would have trained him, he would have mopped Nappa up. That's all I'm saying.
Because Goten ain't soft.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Goten. I don't know. He ain't scared of fighting like Gohan. I'll admit that he didn't have to.
He ain't soft.
I mean, that would be a good. I don't know. You guys really think Goten would have hit Super Saiyan 2 and beyond? Because he would have been in touch with his emotions like Gohan was.
He hit Super Saiyan when he was like 5 years old.
Sure did.
Well, no, actually, it was like 6 or 7 because of
whatever.
I'm surprised his mom was able to make him go Super Saiyan. That's what shocked me.
That boy. Was
Chi-Chi really that dramatic?
What was the thing where Kami's Lookout got taken over? What was the movie where it wasn't even? They did a movie and they did a couple episodes where Kami's Lookout got taken over and Goten and Trunks had to go handle that.
Yeah, they handled the small stuff.
Nah, that was big stuff because Piccolo got jacked up, Gohan got jacked up, Goku was nowhere to be found. It was Goten and Trunks that went up there and handled that.
If you can't remember the name of the villain, it's small stuff.
No, I can't remember the name of the movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. I know the villain.
Who's the villain in the movie?
It's small stuff.
Nah,
you can't remember the name of the villain.
People. I know who the people are. It's the Dead Zone people.
I'm just saying, the last time Gohan and Trunks played a big role was at the surprisingly canon, was helping with fighting that weird version of Cyber Cell or whatever you want to call it. But even though Gohan had to go beast mode and Piccolo had to go to his orange mode, that's their biggest like moment they ever done so far.
I don't think so. I think them fighting Boo and getting their ass beat is a big
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think what's gonna happen with the manga now? Because I know
Dragon Ball Z is bigger
Fire.
than Akira Toriyama at this point. It's not gonna stop.
Yeah. And Super's in good hands. It's already been taken over. Super's been being written by somebody that used to be on his art team for
wait, so he's not the one. I thought he took over.
Hasn't.
No, he's just been overseeing it.
Yeah, he's been consulting and overseeing, but Super's been in the hands of one of his old animators from his previous team. So,
definitely remember Chi-Chi putting hands on Goku in the tournament. That's back in the Dragon Ball days.
This man palmed her off the stage.
But yeah, Dragon Ball Z is huge. Like, people don't realize how huge Dragon Ball Z is to like Japan. Like, it's so huge that at one point, I don't know if it's still the case, but at one point it was part of like their like stimulus package. Like, if the Japanese government falls on hard times, we got some secret Dragon Ball Z movies in the tuck that we can use to boost our content. Like, that's how big Dragon Ball Z is. Like,
I mean,
so it's like South Korea with K-pop.
Yeah, like they had secret movies on deck that they could release just in case. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's Dragon Ball is so big that even everything created so far I've seen mangaka have an homage.
Yeah.
My kids be disrespecting Dragon Ball Z. They be like, I don't like Dragon Ball Z. Goku, he not all that. I be like, all right, whatever. Just go somewhere.
What's that, Duff?
My kids, they don't respect Goku.
I mean,
they don't.
I mean, I think it's so interesting that like it'll be probably very rare to find someone, particularly in our sort of space like this, who has had so much impact on a variety of genres. Like, you know, if I keep it just strictly video gaming, like we are currently enjoying Final Fantasy VII Remake, there is some argument to be made that we don't get here without the success of Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
That are,
you are 100% right.
That focus on his characters and his designs. That one of my favorite games from the PlayStation era, Tobal #1. All characters are designed by Toriyama. It was a very fun little fighting game that didn't go anywhere, but was very kind of clever. Even got a sequel. Or to look at what is arguably one of the greatest anime fighting games of all time, Dragon Ball Z. Not Super. That was the name of that game, Drew.
Dragon Ball Budokai?
No, the new one.
Fighter Z?
Fighters Z. That like his influence can still to this day be felt long after like Dragon Ball, at least for the most part, ended. Not including Super and such. But like, you know, very few people will ever get that level of success, that level of influence. You know, without switching to the manga side, where like, you know, Oda and Takashi has flat out said like, we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
No,
we don't get.
Buddy from Bleach was straight up like, yo, Bleach wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, like we don't get. Yeah, but he was directly responsible for helping Bleach get made.
Yeah, that dude is so influential. And
so
while we're
like,
keeping it on top, what's your favorite Dragon Ball video game?
Ooh, I don't start.
Ooh, that. Shit. I kind of hold Xenoverse close to my heart because that was the first time I was actually make a black person go Super Saiyan.
Okay.
But yeah, so Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2, I'm gonna couple them together. And also Xenoverse 2 has so much download DLC content, it was insane.
All right, Jubei, I know you're big into DBZ. What's your favorite Dragon Ball video game?
It depends. Like, I have a favorite game and a lot of different systems.
You can just name off a couple, and you're not beholden to.
Let's see. Budokai 3 from the PS2.
Yes, I got that on my emulator.
Fighters, Recurrent, Ultimate Battle 22.
Okay.
GT was trash. That game, garbage.
I love GT.
Super, the one on the Super Nintendo, that old ass fucking Dragon Ball game. That everybody pretty much emulates now. Yeah, man. I also liked what was Burst Limit. I actually did like Burst Limit. I liked the production value of Burst Limit. It wasn't a very good fighting game, but from a production standpoint, it was pretty damn good.
Are you talking about that one on PS1?
Which one?
You said Burst Limit, like the one that was on the PS1 where you did Burst one combo and you get stuck into
no, Burst Limit came out on that's either Ultimate Battle or one of those PlayStation or Final Bout. No, Burst Limit came out in the 360 and PS3.
Oh.
And if anybody ever played the director's cut of Budokai, also called Infinite World, fantastic fucking game. The training mini games alone, like you have to like go through Snake Way and fucking train in the gravity in the ship on the way to Namek and gravity and shit. Like, it was dope.
So I think for me, even though you said it was trash, I think my favorite is Dragon Ball GT, just because of the memories I have associated with it and how hard it was to get your hands
Final
on
Bout
it.
was so bad.
It was so hard to get your hands on, especially on an English copy of it. It was damn near impossible to get your hands on a copy of that back in the day. And like it was like the first like 3D Dragon Ball game. So that was definitely one of my favorites. Just because of that. Like, and like, bro, you do not know how hard I worked to find that damn game. Just that alone, and then actually having the chance to play, and it was cool to play to me. I liked the little Game Boy one that was like the first RPG Dragon Ball Z game. Can't think of the name, the actual like subtitle for it, but I know you guys. I think it was on the Game Boy Advance.
Legacy of Goku.
Yeah, Legacy of Goku.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, Boo's Fury was shit.
I like that. I wasn't big on but I like all the RPG ones. Like the what's the one that me and you got on Xbox right now?
Kakarot.
Huh? Yeah, Kakarot. I fuck with Kakarot.
I haven't played Kakarot actually
I like
yet.
Z.
How much?
I like the I didn't own a Wii at the time, so I just went over to my friend's house and played the Wii versions of the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. I like those. But yeah, Dragon Ball GT and the two RPG ones are probably my favorites. But I like playing through the story of Dragon Ball. And I like how in Kakarot how you get to take down the Red Ribbon Army and things like that. So I enjoy it.
I just want the game where we go through Dragon Ball all the way. I want to play as Kid Goku. I really do.
I think the issue with that is getting through the Western audience. It's so much.
Do you know how massive that game is? I just need Kakarot to be like, "Yo, hey, here's the Dragon Ball."
There's so much pervy things that go on in Dragon Ball that
they can easily cut out the pervy things,
and they already cut out like a lot of.
I'm telling you, that's why
they cut out a lot of the gore. Like you look at any fight with Raditz in any of the games, like a lot of the gore is not in there. It was in there in Burst Limit.
I'm talking about the Master Roshi nosebleeds, the Goku looking up people's skirts.
But that's
Goku tapping pussy.
It needs to be in there though. Put it in.
That's why you don't, and that's exactly why you don't have a Dragon Ball game, because it needs to be in there, but it can't. So you don't get the game.
But it can.
No.
If we can get stellar games,
not if they want to sell to the audience they want to sell it to. That's not going to make it past ESRB.
Yeah, but you don't.
ESRB. Everything else get passed. We literally got Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. We got Glorilla, Ice Spice. You really think about that?
Yeah, they want to sell. They want to sell Dragon Ball as an E for everyone game. It ain't happening.
No, that's going to be rated T.
It's been rated T for teen. And it's okay.
It ain't happening for teen either.
But a lot of that stuff isn't terribly important.
And a lot of that stuff you also don't even have to have. Like,
yeah, you don't have to have that. Like, because that's the difference between watching the show and playing the game. Nothing about Goku looking up skirts does anything for me from a gameplay perspective. It's just a thing that happened.
I'm just telling you that's why we don't have it, because they got they got a lot of stuff with Roshi and all that.
I don't believe it, because that implies that is integral to the Dragon Ball video game, and it's not.
I'm not saying it is, but we've gotten Dragon Ball. We got Dragon Ball Z RPGs, but we haven't gotten Dragon Ball. It has to be something.
I want to participate in that first Budokai. Like bring it. Yeah. It should happen. It absolutely should happen.
The easiest path is to do exactly what the Ninja Storm games do.
Just merge them all together
and just highlight key points.
Yeah.
Right. I'm back. My neck.
Yeah.
Nah, but after playing Kakarot, I need that same type of world.
That's what I mean. Like I want to. I want to run around as Kid Goku, man.
You know what I actually want? I want a DBZ JRPG game.
You already have one, Kakarot.
Nah,
it's not turn-based. But it doesn't make sense though. Turn-based for Dragon Ball.
No, I don't think turn-based can fit for Dragon Ball.
And not that there haven't been
one.
Not that there haven't been turn-based games, as I also played Legend. I also played Legendary Super Warriors, which is a card game.
There have been, and it was just until Namek. It was a short one. Maybe it was a Mugen that I played, but I did play DBZ turn-based.
I mean, they've had them in the past. It's just like the One Piece turn-based game. It's cool. It's
Zero
not setting the world on fire.
Yeah, but
Zero.
a lot of times, turn-based is just a result of just technical limitations, not like this is the desire.
I mean, we got the Xbox Series X and PS5. What limitations do we have at this point?
I'm saying
exactly
that they wouldn't do it because they don't have those limitations anymore.
My phone can play PlayStation 2 games now.
But just because you're turn-based doesn't mean that you're limited yourself. Like it can be just.
I'm not saying that you're limiting yourself by being turn-based. What I'm saying is that the advent of turn-based in general was just a way to overcome the limitations of technology during that time. It became popular and it became fleshed out.
Yeah, okay, but I get you on that front. But just because we now have the technology doesn't mean that we shouldn't get any more turn-based games like that. Like
Dragon Ball Z is not the type of game that they would make turn-based. I just know, know for a fact that
they've had card games and shit, and it works for that. But like an actual turn-based game like that does not work. It doesn't.
I'm saying, how many people actually buy a turn-based DBZ game?
I mean, like I said, One Piece Odyssey exists, and One Piece is massive, and that game just did okay.
The problem from the demo that I played with One Piece, they didn't do something new. Like, look at Octopath Traveler 2. If they did something new, there's something fresh. One Piece is literally Dragon Quest.
But if you even look at Octopath is not this big selling game. It sells well for the development budget that it has.
No, it sold 7 mil.
Yeah, that's not huge.
No.
It's solid.
That's the same amount of the previous one.
Yeah, it has a nice little audience, but that's
in a shorter span.
Yeah. Also, you also got to remember one thing: anime games usually don't get nowhere near as enough love as other games.
No,
we have like Jujutsu Kaisen fighting game recently came out, and that shit was trash. And that anime though won Anime of the Year.
See, that's why Fighter Z is such a revelation, because they put a lot of heart and effort into that.
The reason that anime games don't get a lot of love is that, just like live action, they get the same low budget type treatment when they make one.
Yep, it's rehash. It's a lot of it's rehash.
It's not that the anime community won't embrace a great anime video game. Is that they just don't invest into anime video games.
I got burned by Black Clover, and I love Black Clover.
Oh, damn. I feel sorry for you. I knew that was going to deduct it from the second I saw it. Like, now.
Because Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a really good RPG game, and a lot of people have bought that game, and it's done well enough that they've released, like, several expansions where you get to fight Beerus and
they got to the God arc.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
Yeah, the problem with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot
they're way past the God arc. The God arc was the first one they did. The first one they did was Beerus, and they've released 2 others since then.
That's because I thought Xenoverse was the only one that got all the way up to like Super Saiyan.
They just need to put the TOP in there, and we good.
The problem with Kakarot is every character plays the same, sadly.
But that's the problem with any anime game. All the characters play the same.
the combat loops are a little repetitive, but it's still a very good game.
If you played Naruto, every single fucking ninja in Naruto plays exactly the same.
Nah,
yes,
I don't know about that.
There's no their combos are exactly. There's no extra inputs. Like the combo button input is exactly the same. Doesn't matter. That's samey to me.
So what I'm talking about is let's make someone like Vegeta a power character, while Goku.
No, we're not going to make power. We're not going to do the sap power thing. That will not fit in DBC.
No,
I don't know about that.
It's literally the same character. You're just doing move instead of Kamehameha. You're doing big bang attack, like a
Gallic gun.
Yeah.
You then you can say the same thing about Tenkaichi, and everybody has the exact same moveset. The beams are like literally the same button for everybody, just depending on who you use. That tells you what beam, what color it's going. It's all the same though. And again, that's the trope of anime games. Period.
They
constantly do that.
No, there is supposed to be like a Bleach anime, a Bleach game coming out, RPG. And
really?
Yeah.
No. Honestly, if you want a turn-based DBZ game that a lot of people are playing, it's on mobile.
Oh no!
And it literally got 4.5 stars.
Don't you talk about Dokkan like that?
I would say it's Dokkan Battle.
Dokkan is not a turn. Like I don't even consider that a turn. It is turn based, but it's not turn.
It's okay. So what I call this is because thank you Final Fantasy for this, but I call it what is it? Live turn based games or something. Basically, where it's a turn based game, but if you don't move, the enemies will still attack you.
You'll still get hit. Yeah.
Yeah. What you call
Legends then?
Yeah, that's one of them. There's a couple of DBZ mobile games, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's Legends and Dokkan are the two big ones.
Also, Juby, is the game you're talking about Hyper Dimension for the SNES?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a really old PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Yep.
SNES.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the one I was talking about. The NES one that I couldn't remember the fucking name of. Yes, that Hyper Dimension.
Very popularly emulated.
Do you remember the Flash game that was on Cartoon Network or whatever? The Dragon Ball game that had the fucking thong song as the fucking music for it?
No.
It was like you'd pick a quadrant. It was like A, B, C, D, and then like if you ended up in the same quadrant as like the thing you were going against, you punch it out and you had like beam moves and stuff. It was a really old fucking Flash Dragon Ball game that was on like the Cartoon Network Toonami website that you could play.
I mean, one of my favorites was Dragon Ball Z Bid for Power, which was an old PC game that kind of utilized the Quake engine. At the time, it was the very closest thing you get to.
I've heard of Bid for Power. What?
Bid for Power was very fun. It was the closest you could get to an actual DBZ match with like teleporting and charging up and shooting beams. I think it came out like 2002. And then I think they got cease and desisted because they were not allowed to use Dragon Ball characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game disappeared. But if you're interested, look up Bid for Power. It is a very rudimentary but incredibly fun game.
Yeah, the new Bleach game that's in development is called Bleach Soul Renaissance. 3D sword action game.
Bleach what?
Soul Renaissance.
Oh?
Or Resonance.
Resonance?
Resonance?
Yeah, RESONANC.
Resonance.
Yep. But
it's a mobile game, right?
No. I don't think it's a mobile game.
I'm looking for it. It's coming to
Bleach
mobile.
does have a mobile game that's also live turn-based.
So Bleach Soul Resonance is coming to mobile.
Oh, it's coming to mobile?
I mean, One Punch Man has a mobile game that is like doing amazing on mobile. Like it's hitting crazy numbers.
I'm looking for the gameplay right now. They're showing you Byakuya, like that's all cool.
But yeah, I'm gonna roll us into our outros.
Go ahead, Uta.
Now that we've talked about the passing of Akira Toriyama,
rest in peace.
I know Jubei has his fatherly duties, so I'm gonna allow him to give his outros first. Jubei, what were you playing? Where can people find you?
Yeah. What am I gonna be playing? I don't fucking know. I might actually jump back into Kakarot just cause I'm sad still.
You're not playing Rebirth?
No, he hasn't beaten Remake yet, so he's a little behind.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like RPGs don't bother me. I don't get spoiled.
Okay.
I'll get to it when I get to it. It's all good.
Interesting.
But yeah, you can find me at Jubei Sensei on non-gaming platforms. Jubei X Sensei everywhere else. Keep my Spotify page. Hopefully I have some new music coming out before the end of this year. Still early. We'll see. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next week, man. Short and sweet. R.I.P. to the GOAT.
All right.
R.I.P. to the GOAT.
Nappy, where can people find you, and what will you be playing this week?
You can find me on YouTube and Twitter. Just type in Nappy Sensei and I'll pop up. As far as games I'll be playing, I am going to be hopping back into Helldivers 2 and Power World. Those are my two games I've been playing a lot. Also, like I said before, definitely Hyperkin's new retro controller that has a sticker on the shell that's not fully on. I'm going to be reviewing this controller. Also, the controller behind me, which I actually have been playing Tales of Arise. This is one of the Razer Kishi's mobile controllers, and I'm honestly just going to group all the mobile controllers together into one video because I'm not. Huh?
Is that the Beyond the Dawn DLC? Oh, he looks like he still has the mask
no,
on.
the Game Pass does not have to be on the Dawn DLC for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just playing the game on Game Pass because I'm just like,
you can't buy it.
You can buy it, but I'd rather buy it on Steam than
So
yeah.
you need to play the game all over again then.
No, I don't, because the DLC doesn't use your main stats anyway.
Oh, so you buy the game and then you continue with, but the DLC is standalone or what?
Yeah, DLC is standalone.
Yeah, kind of way, yes.
Kind of like
I'm just playing this. I'm just playing this on Game Pass just to relive Tales of Arise. And right now I'm using Game Pass Cloud Gaming and just testing out because I'm noticing that Game Pass Cloud Gaming has been getting significantly better. I don't know where Microsoft's getting these servers from, but it is extremely stable.
They're buying people's farms and building server farms on them.
Probably that. But yeah, this game is running like really smooth with little to no input latency.
Yeah, I saw an article like a month ago. They bought someone's farm for like $90 million or some shit.
Jesus.
Right, yeah, like,
he said, fuck the animals. I'm trying to get that 90 million. But yeah, so even though there's no mobile gamers in this panel, I guess I'm the closest ish.
I mean, I do the Game Pass on the phone thing from time to time when it's, convenient, but
yeah, and also there's a bunch of
backbones and shit.
But I mean, I do have a backbone too. Yeah, it's just interesting to watch and seeing the evolution of mobile gaming and the games that are coming out for it. So yeah, you definitely look forward to that as well. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Omar, where can people find you and what will you be playing?
Yeah, so people can find me at Karaba_Jab on Twitter and Other Player Podcast every Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Shout out to everyone that came through. As for me, I'm super busy with Rebirth and yeah, hit the like button. Also, I've started watching Avatar, The Last Airbender, and
the live action or the cartoon?
No. The cartoon, because I never watched it. And I'm at chapters. I'm at episode 35 or close to 40, I think.
Okay.
So you're on book 1 or book 2? You're on book 2, sounds like.
Book 2 right now.
He's definitely book 2.
Yeah, because it's no longer. I'm now at the Earth Nation where he have everyone brainwashed. I just uncovered the brainwash and fixed it, but the dude is gonna come back, I know for sure. I would say Avatar is really good. It just, to me, it feels like it needed more episodes because the story is moving forward even when I'm not watching, if that makes sense. Like, when they do something, the next time they have done multiple things after that one episode. That's what I'm talking about. But other than that, it's a great show. I highly recommend everyone to watch it.
It's a great show, and I think it's a movie coming out for it next year.
Okay, yeah, after I'm done with the show, I'm gonna watch the live action because I heard mixed bag about it.
It's okay. It's better. It's definitely better than that damn Avatar movie.
It's better than most live actions, but it's still not.
I mean, even though I know it's not anime, is inspired by anime. It's just that maybe they need to realize that let animations be animations. So
they just looking for work, man. They just looking for work. That's all. But Zero, where can people find you? What will you be playing? But most importantly, where can people find us?
Well, guys, as always, glad to be here. You can find me Zero.exe pretty much anywhere. Continuing working through Final Fantasy, as well as hunting some monsters. So if you want to do that, please join in. But more importantly than me, you can certainly find us, Vitamin G Podcast, pretty much anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube. Please just give us a like, give us a comment, just check us out, show us to your friends and family. We're a pretty good show. So, I'm glad that you listen to us. You could be doing anything else. So that you listen to us really means a lot to all of us. We appreciate you. Rest in peace to Mr. Toriyama. Thank you for showing that through dedication and hard work, a great many things could be achieved. And thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right. And with that being said, thank you for coming through and getting your weekly dose of vitamin G. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Keep it gaming. See you next week.
Later.
All right, see.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street. Hey, we got just what you need on vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. got what you need. A dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got